Hey everybody, hope all is well with you and that things are cool in your world. Wanted to take a minute and thank you guys for taking the time to watch these stories and checking out the content on the channel and everything. I really appreciate the support, the subscriptions, and thank you. Appreciate it. I've had people not only over the years, but recently I've had some people asking me what the deal is with Gigi's teeth, or lack thereof. As you guys have probably all seen, Gigi's live shows are pretty intense, and there was a lot of destruction to his body over the years. It used to, and still does, it freaked me out how long he was able to do that without sustaining some, major injuries, like, poking his eye out with a piece of broken glass or whatever. So I didn't know Gigi when he had teeth. However, here's a photo with my buddy Bloody Mess. He hung around with Gigi, throughout the 80s and in particular in the mid 80s. And here you can see Gigi had a full set of teeth. But, as time rolled on and he was doing his shows, as you guys have probably seen, one of the things he would do is he'd, bash his face in with a microphone or whatever. And over time, his teeth took a beating. And they're pretty gnarly. By the time I saw Gigi at the Harbor Club in 1989, he just kind of had these, little shards of teeth up on top, basically. And, they were discolored, pretty gnarly. So it was pretty shocking, actually. Just that, we've all seen how abusive he was to his own body. And, the teeth are one of those things that, you like to keep, have them hanging around. They're good to have. So, anyways, Gigi told me, and I was asking him, and I can't remember if this was when I was visiting him in prison or if it was on one of our phone calls. Hell, I might even have it on audio tape if it was one of our phone calls, because I used to tape them. So I have a lot of conversations him and I had from when he was in prison. But anyways, what he told me was, and I don't know what facility he was at when this happened. It could have been Muskegon or Adrian, I don't know, wherever. But it was at one of the prison facilities up there in Michigan. When he got there, they deemed that his teeth were a health risk. So what they did was, they just yanked them all out. Well, not all of them, all the ones on the top. As you can see in some of my photos and other people's photos, he still had some on the bottom. But what was really, when he was telling me this story, and I don't know if this was true, or if Gigi was kind of embellishing this, I don't know. But he told me that when they went to do this, when they yanked all his teeth out in prison, he told me they strapped him into, bound him by the wrists and strapped him into this chair. And without any kind of Novocaine or anything, they just pulled him out. Now, who knows if that's true? Who knows how they might have come out real easy because they were, so battered up and whatever. I remember when he told me that, I was like, gosh, that really must have been painful. Not that pain was a big deal to Gigi, but just interesting how, if that was true, how intense that must have been. Gigi had filed a lawsuit with the state of Michigan over that. So the whole time, and I think that's why he may or may not, I can't remember fully, that may have been one of the reasons why he went on his hunger strike in prison. I can't remember that, but either way, it was pretty intense. So yeah, that's why he didn't have any upper teeth, because when he got to prison, there was just shards, and they just got rid of them all. So, it was pretty interesting. When he came to my place, that was in 1991, and, I had met Gigi in North Carolina a couple months before that, when he was up there doing the vocals for the Anti-Scene album. And, that's when I kind of noticed in person that he didn't have any top teeth. But when he came to my place, it was kind of interesting because, one of the first days when he got there, myself, the Razor, and Gigi went to this fairly nice seafood restaurant. Took him out to dinner, which, we used to go out to eat while he was there, fairly regularly. I tried to feed him and keep him in good shape when he was at my place. But anyways, so we go to the seafood restaurant, and I noticed, and this was all the time when we went out or when he was eating, he ordered his meal and he got like a fish sandwich. And I thought to myself, wow, this is interesting that he got a sandwich because, he didn't have any top teeth. But so how he dealt with that was he would just, rip off chunks of the sandwich and eat it. He had bottom teeth on the bottom, but didn't have the top one. So, I'm sure it was challenging for, he wasn't going and buying any Doritos and eating them. So, but whenever we went out to eat, I just noticed that's how he would handle if it was any kind of sandwich or anything like that. He would just kind of rip it off and, eat it that way. But yeah, it was pretty shocking story to hear that they pulled his teeth like that. Not because they pulled his teeth, but if they did indeed do it without any Novocaine or anesthesia or anything. He told me it was, and I remember him saying, man, he wanted to just punch the guy that was doing it, and he was kicking and everything else, but he couldn't, he was strapped in, man. According to him, he, couldn't do anything about it. So, anyhow, that's what I know about Gigi's teeth, and for anybody asking or curious or whatever, that's how he ended up not with the top teeth, just broken out over the years, and then when they finally got him in prison there, they just fully yanked him out because they deemed it as a health risk. So, I don't know. And again, like I said, according to Gigi, he said he got a lawsuit with the state of Michigan over it. So who knows? Anyways, that's the story of Gigi's teeth that I know, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So thanks again for watching this stuff, and if you could subscribe, and it would really help me out. I appreciate it. Just went over 8,000, so thank you. And we'll see you on the next one.